My name is Dr. Brian Hibbs. I'm Associate Professor of Education at Dalton State College. So I largely teach they're called the ESOL courses. So they're courses to prepare teacher candidates in the elementary education program to work with English learners. What drew me to it was sort of, I think, a logical connection that one day the sort of the light bulb moment went off. So since like first grade, I'd always wanted to be a teacher. So that was kind of there. And then in high school, largely prompted by my Spanish teacher, Mrs. Barrett, where I took Spanish with her after my freshman year. And then she encouraged me to continue taking Spanish, but then also take French at the same time. So I ended up taking 4 years of Spanish and 3 years of French in high school, and then just kind of continued with both. So I knew I wanted to be a teacher and was interested in languages. And then halfway through my master's degree, I took a course on teaching foreign languages in college. That it was kind of the light bulb went off. It's like, well, that makes a logical sense that I'm interested in teaching. I'm interested in languages, just put the two together. Plus, I think up to that point, I didn't even know that the field of second language acquisition even existed. When I graduated from high school, I planned to be a French and Spanish teacher at the high school level. And then after my freshman year of college, I decided I wanted to get a PhD and teach college because I really liked college, but I still stuck with the secondary ed program and all that. A number of different ways. So I have, I would say sort of my principal degree is I have a master's and a PhD in second language acquisition and teaching from the U of A. And that actually has been really important because originally when I was hired at Dalton State in 2014, I was originally hired as assistant professor of Spanish. And I did that for 2 years before I moved to the School of Education. Initially, it was kind of important because, especially with Dalton State being a smaller college, being more teaching focused, that I used like a lot of the techniques and methods and strategies that I learned both in the SLAT program, but then I was also a teaching assistant in the French and also in Spanish. So where I got over years to kind of hone my language teaching abilities through those positions. So when I started as assistant professor of Spanish at Dalton State, I felt like I was really ready because I had gotten a lot of the training and then sort of the teaching experience to teach Spanish, for lower level students. So of course, like I'm teaching at a smaller college, but whether you're teaching like a smaller college or say like Pima, the community college level, or even the U of A or anywhere in between, a professor, there are three essential areas where a professor works on in their professional life. So teaching, research, and service. And so something that was really important to me that I started developing towards the end of my time in the SLAT program that I started really recognizing the importance of is really from the beginning, from day one, thinking about, especially if you're thinking about, if a student, student X is thinking about having a position in academia, thinking about how are they going to develop their resume in those three areas during their time in the program, and being strategic about it from day one and taking advantage of opportunities, both at the U of A, in the state of Arizona and beyond, thinking about how are they going to develop their knowledge and expertise in all three of those areas and take advantage of opportunities to do that. I know, like, for example, like the teaching. So being able to teach, like I said, like I taught in the French and Italian department and Spanish and Portuguese department for a number of semesters. So that really kind of honed my pedagogical experiences and expertise as far as like the teaching. But because SLAT is an interdisciplinary program, many of the students also have opportunities to teach in other areas, like maybe classics or, something, or maybe English or, something else that maybe outside their area of expertise. But I think that's really important to really kind of hone your teaching because, teaching, say, like classics or, being a discussion leader for a linguistics class is not exactly the same thing as teaching French 101. Mm-hmm. So really being open, taking advantage of the experiences in teaching and try to get as wide a range of teaching experiences as you can. Sometimes there's some fields where maybe the professional opportunities are somewhat limited. So maybe it's like academia and maybe little else. One of the things that I think is nice about second language acquisitions, there are many, academia is one option, but there are many other options. I mean, of course, there's like teaching maybe at the K-12 level, but it, you don't, it was a couple of days ago, just in my email, because I'm still on the JobCom listserv through SLAT, where they advertise job opportunities, and there was opportunity to teach English or develop ESL materials for, I think it was the Air Force or the military. And then I also had seen, I think it was last week, where I saw job opportunities where you could work with a Duolingo, that they were working with somebody who was, had some expertise in like language learning technology to kind of help them refine their products. So, and that's kind of an up and coming area within second language acquisition, is using technology, to enhance language learning. So, or opportunities with the government with ETS, if you're interested in like language assessment. So maybe like working with ETS to develop, and refine their language assessments and things like that. So I think there are many, what's nice is in second language acquisition, there are many opportunities beyond just academia and beyond. I would say what I think is important is kind of follow your interests, but also kind of follow your passions, because I know some people are like, really, if you're really interested in like working in the community, or like I said, with immigrant students or something like that. And also I kind of think about like, what impact do you want to have on the world? Where do you think where you might be best suited to make the impact that you want? And then being strategic about making decisions and doing things and having experiences and whatnot to put you in the best position to do that. Well, kind of as I mentioned, I think there was a lot of, in SLAT, and the U of A has a lot of, there are a lot of opportunities to, get experiences and get your feet wet and things. So I know like halfway through the SLAT program, when I started working was kind of getting close to the dissertation phase of things. So where I started presenting at different conferences, just in the U of A, like the LRC, which I think they still have it, the LRC program, Language Reading and Culture program in education, they have every year, they have a colloquy. And so like I presented there, and then the Department of Spanish and Portuguese had a graduate symposium, I presented there. And then the next year I was involved in, it's called ASLA, the Arizona Language Association. So that's like the professional association for foreign language teachers in Arizona. So the next year I presented at the ASLA conference. And then, like I said, with the service, I was involved in SLATSA and different things. And like I said, there's, the GPSC and many other ways to get involved. So like I said, I think it's really important to, do some research and identify what opportunities are there for you to get involved and do different things, identify those opportunities and take advantage of them.